Hello everyone and welcome to round 7 of the URL-GT1 Championship. As we near the end of the season, we head to the USA for round 7 with a race around the Daytona Road Course, the 24-hour layout. And with 27 drivers on the grid, we had Mikko Korkiakoski on pole with a 1:38.4, 3/10 in front of Ethan Bass in the Viper and Robert Horvat in the Saleen S7R. In the AM Cup, it was Nikolai Gairov taking the pole in class, followed by Andrei Golubnici and Matthias Christensen. So let's have a look at the highlights of the race. So here we are on the grid at Daytona, and we are riding on board with Tony Ukic as well. Here we go. Tony Ukic has a good start. He's up the inside of Ethan Bass already, and looking going around the outside of Mikko Korkiakoski into turn 1. Everyone keeps it clean, although Ilya Isayenko goes over the grass, but he's lucky not to take anyone out. Going further down the field, Mitchell Smith in 14th position at the moment, and everyone gets quite a good start. Only Simon Fillingham had a problem on the starting grid and caused some mayhem. Alex Lausch is currently in last position. Here are the leaders. Tony Ukic right on the tail of Mikko Korkiakoski, taking a wider line. Let's see if he can get past around the outside. The next corner is a left-hander. He will have to brake very late. Mikko keeps it on the inside, brakes late, and they're absolutely side by side going onto the first time onto the banking. Long straight heading into the bus stop chicane. They are still side by side. Let's stay with this battle for the lead in the opening lap of this 35-lap race. Ethan Bass comes and challenge, has a look around the inside and outside, then into the braking zone for the bus stop chicane. Mikko Korkiakoski keeps it in front, and the rest is very close. Robert Horvat in 4th position. Peter Bakos is right behind him, but he would drop with a connection issue, unfortunately. Here is Mikko Korkiakoski ending the first lap of this race. Ethan Bass in 3rd, Tony Ukic in 2nd, and then the whole field streaming past. The leader in the AM Cup is Nikolai Gairov once again, as he started from pole, followed by Andrei Golubnici in 2nd position. So as we start lap 2, let's have a look here. Tony Ukic very close again, coming onto the banking, hitting Mikko Korkiakoski slightly there even, and it's closer than the lap before again. So can Tony make any move? And Ethan in the Viper looking strong all week. Can he challenge and take 2nd or even 1st position? He has a lot of speed, goes for the inside line, side by side, but he has to slot in behind. And Robert Horvat in the back, spinning it out here on the bus stop chicane and losing several positions and a lot of damage to his car. Then finishing lap 2 here on the banking, Ethan Bass right on the tail of Tony Ukic. Will he be able to go up the inside into turn 1? Very tricky braking zone there. The back end wants to step out quite a bit, and it's a difficult and different line for everyone into turn 1. Ethan Bass makes the move, but he goes too wide, and Tony can keep it on the inside around the barrier, and he will stay in front in 2nd position. Very nice battle this, and we'll see if it continues. Then Florian Kutz was just behind these guys starting lap 2, followed by Alex Scott and Nemanja Manojlovic. Oh, Reinhard Berger, no, sorry, Alex Scott overshooting his braking marker, and a slight touch there with Florian Kutz, losing them both a couple of positions. Ilya Isayenko, Sten Mikkel Olsen, for example, go through. Also Mihovil Markovic is now right side by side with Ilya Isayenko, and they are between Florian Kutz and Alex Scott at the moment. Then Nikolai Gairov, the leader in the AM Cup, got a bit wide here on the entry into turn 1, caused Jari Lakonen also to spin, but he will lose the lead to David Nesbitt, who is very closely followed by Andrei Golubnici here. So Nikolai Gairov drops to 3rd and David Nesbitt takes the lead of the AM Cup at Daytona. Here Florin Manolace mixing it up with these AM guys as well. He is right in between them. Florian Guts then could get close to Sten Mikkel Olsen after he got past. Very close side by side action. Florian can't get onto the throttle early enough to make the pass stick. Will he stick his nose up the inside here? He has a look at least, but Sten keeps it around the outside and he stays in front. And now Florian Guts on the next lap has another look. Oh, a bit of paint trading there. Sten keeps it on the track, but he loses the position to Florian, so 5th position for Florian Guts, now following Nemanja Manojlovic, showing good pace all week as well. Nikolai Gairov then having a look back to get that lead of the AM Cup back. David Nesbitt, bit of a white line there through turn 1, and Andrei Golubnici takes over the lead, and Nikolai Gairov goes up the inside of him, and that drops David Nesbitt back to 3rd and Nikolai Gairov up to 2nd in AM. The battle was hard and fierce in the AM Cup, as we had Nikolai Gairov looking at Andrei Golubnici, getting past Florin Manolace, putting a pro driver in between the 2 AM leaders. So that's going to be interesting. Miko Korkiakowski from Tony Ukic, from Ethan Bass, then Nemanja Manojlovic and Florian Guts to round up the top 5, and then it got very close between Sten Mikkel Olsen, Mihovil Markovic and Alex Scott side by side. Mihovil on the inside line. Small collision there with Sten, and Alex Scott has to take avoiding action and puts himself in the barrier, losing him quite a bit of time unfortunately, but Sten will have to try again to get past Mihovil Markovic. That will happen later that lap when Mihovil makes a mistake here on the exit of the bus stop chicane. Rare mistake there from him, but that gives the position back to Sten Mikkel Olsen. Then Nikolai Gairov managed to get close as Florin Manolace past Andrei Golubnici again after a couple of laps, and Andrei will lose 2 positions. That's how close it is, already almost 10 laps into the race. So David Nesbitt now right in front of Kimi Martikainen and behind Jari Lakonen. It's a very hard battle here at the bottom end of the top 20. But Nikolai Gairov for the moment, leader in the AM Cup, very closely followed by Andrei Golubnici and David Nesbitt. Kimi Martikainen and Jari Lakonen. Kimi goes a bit wide and David takes the position, putting Kimi in between him and Andrei Golubnici, which is never a bad thing. Good move by David Nesbitt there. And then Matthias Christensen in 24th, having a look at Alex Lausch. And he gets past, but later that lap, let's see what happens. Alex Lausch going very wide, and yeah, Matthias as well, giving Alex earlier throttle, and he gets back past, so Matthias will have to try again. Then here's David Nesbitt, followed by Andrei Golubnici, so they're right behind Nikolai Gairov. David goes a bit wide onto the grass, he loses the position to Andrei and Kimi Martikainen. And as we continue, side by side here by Andrei and Kimi, Andrei comes out on top. But he has a spin, and he drops back. He will drop back behind Matthias Christensen. And then Nemanja Manojlovic got very close to Ethan Bass for 3rd position, but he would spin as many others would do as well. Here where Robert Horvat on the 2nd lap spun at the bus stop chicane. He will lose the position to Sten Mikkel Olsen, but he gets in a tangle with Nemanja, so Alex Scott takes advantage. They get going again. Sten, then Mihovil Markovic, Alex Scott in front of Nemanja Manojlovic, but still very, very close, and they get going again. Then David, after that mistake, got back past Andrei Golubnici on the straight, the start-finish straight. And just before the pit stops, it's Mikko Korkiakoski with a healthy lead in front of Toni Ukic. He's followed then by Ethan Bass, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, indeed. Florian Kutz is not too far back. He is in fourth at the moment. Then Alex Scott, who took advantage of that mistake by Sten Mikkel Olsen and Reinhard Berger. Oh, Nemanja Manojlovic, sorry. And back to 8th position, Sten Mikkel Olsen and Nemanja Manojlovic. Nemanja trying to go around the outside with the Ferrari 550, but he has to stay behind as Sten closes the door. Greg Metcalf in 10th position, then Mark Fuller having a good race in 11th, Ilya Isayenko, Mitchell Smith, Miguel Santiago Carao, followed by Robert Horvat, as they are recovering, or Robert is recovering from his off. Then Jari Lakonen, Kimi Martikainen, Matthias Christensen took the lead after a mistake and a pit stop by Nikolai Gairov. Here he is. David Nesbitt and Andrei Golubnici are right behind him. So Matthias Christensen takes the lead in the AM Cup. That proves how close it is. All the guys have led the race so far. And Simon Fillingham and Florin Manolace. Then as we went onto the pit section, we had Reinhard Berger making the pass on Mihovil Markovic first. Oh, Mihovil locking the brakes, but he gets it stopped. It has to slot in behind. And Reinhard was the one making the longest first stint of everyone. And everyone was already fearing during the race that he would double stint. Mikko Korkiakoski's in second. Then Toni Ukic, closely followed by Ethan Bass. So that battle closed down a lot. As Toni Ukic into turn 2, oh, having a spin under braking, spins it but keeps it out of the barriers, although he loses the position to Ethan Bass. So as we continue, Reinhard Berger made his pit stop, but Ethan here at the bus stop chicane, as Nemanja and Robert also did, spins here and loses the position back to Toni Ukic, who gets out into second position. So then we have Mikko Korkiakoski, Toni Ukic and Ethan Bass after the pits. That's our top 3 in the pro class. Then Reinhard Berger, he came out in 4th position, but he didn't change tires, so he's being hounded by Florian Kutz, Alex Scott and Mihovil Markovic. Also Robert Horvat, Mitchell Smith and Miguel Santiago Carao, and the whole rest of the field streaming past. Nikolai Gairov got back into the lead of the AM Cup, and his closest contenders, Andrei Golubnici and David Nesbitt, were still battling it out. So continuing with the highlights, Robert Horvat managed to get past Mihovil Markovic on the straight, but can he keep it in turn 1? Heavy braking, he goes a bit wide and slides it. That will cost him. Yes, Mihovil takes advantage and retakes the position. So 8th position at the moment for Robert Horvat. And then Florian Kutz and Alex Scott close down the gap to Reinhard Berger. As I said, he didn't pit for tires, so a quicker pit stop for him. But he's now suffering the consequences of less grip, especially going out of the turns. Florian Kutz trying to go around the outside of Reinhard, but he can't do it. So he will have to try again. Still very, very close, and Alex Scott is right on their tail. So this is a 3-way battle for 4th position. and the Celine is looking very quick. Looking at the outside line, and Alex Scott approaching rapidly. Reinhardt hugging that inside line, trying to keep that inside line into turn 1. Who will blink first? Reinhardt gets out of the battle, and Alex Scott and Florian Kutz go through on fresher rubber. Let's see where Reinhard Berger ends up in the end. Now, can Alex Scott make the pass on Florian Kutz? He's had the better pace after the pit stops, but only slightly, so he will have to make a good move and a decisive move to get in front and stay in front of Florian, as his teammate is in first position. Later this lap, Alex going to the inside as they pass Nikolai Gairov. Braking for turn 1. Ooh, big slide there from Florian, but he keeps it together. Good power out of turn 1, and Alex has to stay behind, and then Alex braked slightly too late and went into a spin in the bus stop chicane. We saw that several times, and that will put him out of contention for that 4th position of Florian Kutz. David Nesbitt then got past Andrei Golubnici as he made the same mistake Alex did. So Andrei in 2nd position of the AM Cup now, and David Nesbitt made a mistake as well a couple of laps later, as we saw him there recovering on the right. So Andrei Golubnici back in 2nd position, and this is how we will end the race. Mikko Korkiakowski will win Daytona and will win the championship. So 9-time Drivers' Championship here, Mikko Korkiakowski, followed by close contender Tony Ukic. Ethan Bass with a very good performance to take 3rd, Florian Kutz, and Alex Scott in 4th and 5th, and Alex got close again to Florian, but the race was just not long enough for him to take that position. Reinhard Berger could keep in 6th with his worn tires, Mihovil Markovic in 7th, then Robert Horvat, Mitchell Smith and Miguel Santiago Carao to round up the top 10. Mark Fuller finished good 11th position. Then Greg Metcalf has already stopped the race. Sten Mikkel Olsen dropped back to 13th, 14th position for Nemanja Manojlovic. Nikolai Gairov taking the win in the AM Cup. Andrei Golubnici claiming 2nd, and David Nesbitt claiming 3rd position there after a very hard fought battle with Matthias Christensen in 4th in that class. So let's have a look at the final results of this race. As it's Mikko Korkiakowski taking the win, as we saw already. Tony Ukic 14 seconds behind, Ethan Bass almost 30. So dominant win by Mikko Korkiakowski, also setting the fastest lap. The only driver together with Ethan Bass to go into the 1:39s on race pace. Then, as we saw, Nikolai Gairov taking 15th position to win the AM Cup. Andrei Golubnici and David Nesbitt in 2nd and 3rd. Very good and hard-fought race here, and we have a Drivers' Championship over again. Mikko Korkiakowski, Drivers' Champion for season 14 of the URL-GT1 Championship, so congratulations. And next race will be the final round of this season at Road America as well in the US. So stay tuned, as the race will be action-packed as always, and we will be providing the highlights for the race. If you want to join us for racing, go to unitedracersleague.com, and if you just like to watch these videos, subscribe to our channel and get them when they come out. So see you next week.